Hi, good evening to everybody. It's me again, once again commenting on what I saw of this vice presidential debate. To start off, I gotta admit certain things that Palin said changed my opinion of her. She is not as off base as I thought. She did give a few positive comments, which I shall discuss later, but overall, I still dislike her to represent this country as vice president because even though she did say some things that I may agree with, most of the time she was off base and uninformed. The same vice versa also with my candidate's vice president. To begin with, um, Palin keeps talking about McCain and her being mavericks. Get over it. That is old. I cringe every time you say that big fat lie. No, neither McCain nor you are mavericks. It's obvious you are not. Were you truly the mavericks you claim you are, you would not have voted, McCain would not have voted 9 times out of 10 in favor of Bush's failed policies. You can keep claiming to be a maverick over and over and over again, but ultimately, truth speaks for itself. McCain is not, I repeat, not a maverick. If you keep believing that, that just shows um, how out of touch you are. A true maverick would not support failed policies 9 times out of 10. She kept talking about raising taxes, accusing Obama of raising taxes. First and foremost, the very areas where Obama voted in increasing taxes, Biden just pointed it out right there. McCain voted the same way. Furthermore, what Palin is talking about as, and McCain does too, as Obama raising taxes, is raising taxes on the 200 and on those people who make $250,000 or more a year. That's only 5% of the population. And I don't think that is destroying jobs because that 5% of the population is out of touch with the public anyway. That 5% of the population pretty much would be mean taxing the very same greedy bastards who are profiting from this war on Iraq in the first place. If you are sending our troops, my brother who's a Marine, to Iraq, you better make sure you pay your taxes along with it, everybody else. Now, one thing I don't understand how McCain and Palin plan on doing, they keep talking about ending the problems that have plagued our current economy, but they insist on deregulation. Let's not be idiotic about it. You cannot have your cake and eat it. If you want to be the maverick you think you want to be, and you need to lay off deregulation, and you need to be government needs to get meddled in those affairs. You gotta have your cake and eat it. You have to decide: are you gonna let the corrupt bastards keep stealing the money from Main Street, or are you gonna stick to deregulation? You gotta have it both ways. And news for you Republicans: haven't you thought about what the word government means? It means government. The purpose of government is to govern. That means to regulate. This politician myth of deregulation is really an anarchy set up in favor of aristocrats. which violates the very principles of our democracy. A true government will govern wisely. Yes, sometimes leaving freedom, but acting and regulating when it needs to be. When corruption rises, decent government will step in right away, not wait till this crisis has come about. Now, it is contradictory if you're going to be giving tax credit only to tax healthcare benefits. That is ridiculous. That really changes nothing. You want, and that means it's not a maverick. A true maverick will set it up so that more people can have affordable healthcare. Which right now, I assure you, my credit has been destroyed because of those greedy insurance policies out there, in which they charge a lot from my employer and then also from me. And when I take my son or my daughter or my other son to the doctor, it's an arm and a leg, and many of them are even deceptive. My policy, Blue Shield, when my wife was expecting my newborn, they told me that it was going to cover my wife's pregnancy and the delivery. I got another letter a couple of weeks ago stating the contrary, that it did not cover anything from the delivery. Now I'm stuck owing $18,000, which part of which turned out, which my insurance policy said they were going to cover in the first place. Stop lying and cover what you claim you're going to cover. Reform. Okay, McCain's talking about reform, and it only makes sense knowing that we American voters are sick and tired of the same old, same old. But reform from what? From a politician who's going to lead the reform? A politician who has been in office for the past, what, 30 years? Who's been in office as pretty much as long as I have been alive? Sorry, no. Power corrupts, and the longer you have been in politics, the less I can trust you in office. If you were really the maverick, and if your decisions were really as good as you claim they are, you would not have been as off base on your things as they are. Unless, of course, you are giving yourself to special interest groups and to lobbyists, as I'm sure you are. There's no politician can be in office for 30 years and stay pristine. Get real. Now, and I'm sure your lobbyists are none other than army personnel, the top army personnel, not our people in Iraq, the top generals, as well as the oil industries. That's why you push so much for Iraq. Everything else points in against you. Okay, you said my parents said she would not support a candidate that says one set of principles to one group and then another set to another, and that's the reason why you support McCain. True, that's all true. McCain doesn't have to worry about giving him the other point of view to the other group. He has you to make that big mistake in the first place. McCain says one thing, you say the other. You're not on the same page. Maybe that's why you're the maverick, but then again, you're... Let's see. You started talking about your track record as an administrator, as a businesswoman, as a governor, and as a mayor. Remember, you were only a small-time mayor. And you were a governor, sure, the biggest state in the union, but with the smallest population. That does not count as a big time that you keep talking. And your track record, and sure, anybody can succeed with in administering a smaller population. Give me a break. when you have been a governor or a